All right, this might sound like a rant, but I've got to share it. Decisions. It's all about decisions. Decisions isn't what we think. It's really what we decide we're going to focus on and then take action on. Now, action and your decisions, most of that comes from your values, beliefs, and principles. And this is most important, not just most important, but it's an important piece of it, is education. What you know, your vocabulary of intelligence and experiences, they impact your values, beliefs, and principles. I know a lot of people that have a strong set of values, beliefs, and principles that are coming from a good place, but they're not very educated. And so unfortunately, that doesn't lead them to do bad things, but it doesn't lead them to their greatest good either. So, and doing good isn't necessary to do great, but at the same time, doing good and great is better for everyone. And so I'm going to connect this to a bunch of different things, and I'm going to give you some strong responses because I know it'll be more impactful. So I'm going to tell you this much. One, somebody asked me the other day, "Hey, Coach Kutry, do I have to do film study?" No, I never said that. I never said you had to work out. I never said you have to study. I never said you had to do your homework. I never said you had to get to bed at a reasonable hour. I never said you had to pick friends that are going to empower you and they're going to uplift you and that are going to, try to dare greatly like you are. I never said that you had to eat and have great nutrition. I never said that you don't have to do anything. Okay? And whether or not you're going to blame somebody else or give somebody else credit, it's both the same thing. I mean, one's kind of empowering, but it's not really. Because if all of a sudden you say, I'm doing this for the greater good, well, that's nice, but you just make sure that you understand, you decide that. Nobody else decided that. You made that decision. Give yourself that power because you decided. There can be a greater good, and there can be a God, and there can be all this other Mother Nature stuff and universe, and wherever it is that you feel like you get your energy from. That's awesome, especially when it leads you to good. But, and this is the big but, and it is a but. If you want to say and, that's fine. You decide. It comes down to what you decide to take action on. Because even the greatest of people will have passing clouded thoughts of things that if they took action on, they wouldn't be a good person. So with that being said too, when you're watching film, watch film and it's about your actions. Do not take it personally. If you come in and you have a workout and it wasn't the greatest workout, it was the workout. It wasn't you. So when you review what you do, and I hope that you record it, right? You record it. If it was reverse doing, it's worth reviewing, which means you have to record it in order to review it. So film study. Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Guess what? Most people just show up and do the bare minimum. Most don't even do that. You don't have to do anything. What do you have to do to make the varsity team? Guess what? It's not the same for everybody. Somebody might have a personal connection or a contact on the team. They might make it anyway. Somebody might just be naturally talented. That actually happens. They might make it anyway. And I have good news or bad news for you. There are some people that are so naturally talented, they ascend all the way up to the very, very top with little to no extra work. I'm not saying that that's the normal, but I'm saying there almost always are exceptions. So there's going to be somebody that's exceptional and they can do almost whatever they want to do. They could do it much, much better because they're nowhere near the potential because they're not focused on that. And they're not lucky because of that. They're usually unlucky because of that, because then things, when they go wrong, they don't know why they go wrong because they've never earned something before. It's just felt like it's been given and it's just natural they show up. So they're usually pretty good about feeling good about themselves, but they're not usually good about knowing where it comes from. So credit and blame, they're very, very similar. I can say, hey, listen, I did this for the glory of God. That's awesome. So you want to lift up God's name by what you're doing. You should want to do that even if you're not coming from a religious standpoint. You should always want to do your best to do your best, either for yourself or for the greater good. The main thing is, though, to understand you make the decision. It's on you. If you want to blame somebody, you can. If you want to shame somebody, you can. If you want to give credit to somebody, you can. Hey, listen, I want to say thank you to my team for us losing today. Everybody helped me and contributed for me losing. And like, I'm going to do a separate live on that because it'll be the funniest thing ever, right? You don't hear people do that, but you hear people say, man, we lost. And, professionals, they don't blame anybody else. But at the same time, like, they give credit to other people. Like, be quiet when you're losing, be grateful when you're winning, like, be grateful regardless. Like, whatever happened today, we're going to move forward, we're going to do better because of it. And I'm not going to look at it personally, but I am going to be accountable for whatever happened. And I've had some terrible things in my life happen that I was 100% like to blame for, or to credit for, or to like whatever, take ownership of. Did other things contribute? 100%. But if you start deciding you're going to turn it over, if you're going to allow to somebody else take the reins, this is where like some of the times the practice, sorry, I got crap in my eyes. Some of the things that there's common practice from a spiritual side, like allowing, you allow something to happen. Allowing things to happen isn't the same thing as not trying, not efforting. You put forth your effort and your focus on things and you keep on getting better, getting better, getting better. Allowing isn't just letting things happen. It isn't turning it over that you're not involved in it. It's understanding, allowing that you're in the system, okay? You are a part of the system. Of everything that's going on, you are a part of it, okay? And then you allow yourself to do your work within that system. And know what your values, beliefs, and principles are. Educate yourself. It's great to be woo-saw spiritual or spiritual. If you're not educated, you can do a lot of harm, right? And you're probably not experiencing the highest expression of yourself. That's what you're here for. We're here to get better and better and to be positively impactful on the rest of us around us. So again, to recap, you don't have to do anything. And I will never force somebody to do something. I want people who are educated enough to make their own decisions and to understand there is a best way to do this. There's always a best practice for that individual. It might not be the best practice or the easiest for the coach, for the teacher, for the team, for the parent, because they have others to consider. As it relates to us individually, there is a best way for us individually, and it might not align so perfectly with what the team needs. So it is your duty or your mission to figure out how you can be the most helpful and impactful for yourself and for the team with the least amount of friction. But there probably is going to be friction because what the team consciousness is and the cultural consciousness and the tribe consciousness is not what your individual is. And so understanding that's different is information and it's education. It's up to you to do what you want to with it. It's your decision. Again, credit and blame are the same. It's the same thing. So when you look forward to what you see in your future, do so with appreciation, with gratitude of the people who are going to help you get there. And if you fall, you'll still say thank you. And that's the difference. You know, when you're blaming somebody, you're saying, hey, listen, I'm in pain. I want you to feel some of my pain. When you're giving credit to something, you're saying thank you, right? Thank you. I want you to experience some of like my appreciation. So it's the same difference. It's the only difference is one's love, one's hate. You know, it's all pain or joy. That's it. That's the only difference. Credit, blame. Credit, joy. Blame, pain. But if the whole thing is to become your best, you're becoming your best anyway. So it's all credit. And also understand, it's all about the actions. It's not about the person. Don't take it personally when you're doing film. Look at the actions. That's what you're studying. You're studying the actions.